What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. LA Mamba. It is February 8th, 2024. It is Thursday, 1:26 p.m. and we're closed for the day. Hey guys, I haven't made a YouTube video in a little bit. Been busy, and then some challenges, and then there's at the same time trying to grow, and just a lot of things going on at once. Just haven't had time to have a video done. Also, exercising this year. I started exercising pretty good, so that's one of the best things I've had this year is my exercising. But a lot been going on here at the tire shop. I'm gonna try to keep this video about tire shop business for this video, but it has a lot to do with other things I'm doing also. So to start this year, it's been challenging mainly because of my people. So I lost some people, some for good reasons, some for bad reasons, but not bad for me, like bad blood between us, but on their end they had some bad stuff going on. But anyway, so then I got 2 new guys at the beginning of the year, and one had a tire shop in the past. So I got a former tire shop owner for like 20 years. He owned the business. He sold his business, and you know, now his plans kind of changed from going to Mexico. He came back. Pretty much needs money to fund his tire shop business in Mexico. So he's one guy, and then the other guy is like just a brand new, don't know nothing about nothing. And so then, man, these guys, man, they're a piece of work, you know what I mean? They just like so brand new. They just, even though the guy had 20 years in the business, it's like he just know a little bit about the tire business, man. Like, so it's been a big challenge. And then the brand new guys, you know how it is, you gotta train them and deal with their mistakes. And it's just been hard on me, because it's just like I gotta like now do my business and deal with them too. And all at once it just happened. So then pretty much it's been like, again, it's been like, since now it's been pretty bad when it comes to service. And yeah, I can make my sales happen, but I gotta try hard when I'm here. So it's kind of like when I'm here at the business, I'm making things happen, but when I'm not, nothing's getting done, pretty much. Just a whole bunch of talking, you know what I mean? So what happened was, for some good news, just want to fast forward that, but I got in a very good guy, my guy, pretty much. He's been, throughout my career, he's been my Dennis Rodman, and I've been his Michael Jordan. So then got him in right away. Huge difference. First day, boom, make a big difference. Next day, boom, make a big difference, right away. I let the worst guy go. That guy was terrible. I let him go, and I got my good. So now we are really good with my team compared to what we were for like a month and a few days, right? And so now it's a big difference. Now I can, you know, have a different mindset when it comes to growing in the business. And you know, it all hurts you in every way that we have bad people. It's not like it was bad, but it was like not good, right? We have, and I label that bad people. We have bad people. It costs you so many things in the business, right? It costs you, like, it can cost you sales because they're too slow, we can't get to the cars, and at the same time it costs you mistakes because you gotta keep paying for mistakes, right? That could have been avoided. And people get mad, right? You know, the customers, if something happens or way too slow, they don't like that. And I knew it. I mean, they don't even complain to me, the customers. Of course, you know, I got a lot of very loyal customers, it's pretty much like we're friends, right? Those type of customers, they'll tell me, hey, that guy don't cut it, you know what I mean? And I can't tell them the whole story. I'm like, I know, but I have to have him here because right now there's nobody else, you know? That's the type of position I was in. So it cost you a lot of, pretty much ended up for me, it was financially, it was costing me some money, right? It's like, damn, this is, because we have a really busy shop, and having that kind of like customer service, you know, it adds up. Like if I didn't have if I didn't have a lot of customers, then it wouldn't affect me much. You won't notice much, you know. But when you have a really busy shop and you have that kind of like people, then it's like, man, like it's a huge difference. It's like a massive difference when you have that kind of people working for you. So then so anyways, I got my guy in, and I'm really good now. I'm happy, and you know, helping him however I can too on the side with these things. Like, he needs support in this, he needs support in that. I'm there, you know, we go, you know, I support him in doing what he's trying to do, and you know, it helps both of us out. We're both really happy, and this year we're gonna be really strong. Me and him. Again, we're gonna be like a really strong team. Our core business is gonna be built around us, right? And then we got my other guy, and then it's like, all right, well, the other guy's a solid role player. Like if you're talking about sports, right? Solid role player. And then the tire shop guy, you know, we need to work on him. But you know, if I can get one more solid guy, then that will be enough to win the championship, in my opinion, for the summer when it gets really cracking. I mean, I haven't let my inventory go down much. Like on purpose, I like spent money and be broke to get inventory in, just for I won't be in a bad position. Like never, not now, not then. And so I mean, I have a lot of tires, a ton, and so I want to make sure I'm really, really prepared for summer, even if it costs me a lot now. But from right now, I really got to ramp up the sales and the profits so I can get strong before summer. So when summertime comes, we'll be like ready for like the NBA finals, right? It's going to be like the Lakers versus the Celtics, right? And so, and then we're gonna get our championship right there. So, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. For me, it's not gonna be no days off. Pretty much like when it's time for me to work, it's time for me to work. And the good thing is that I feel really good, healthy. Like that's the best part of everything I'm just telling you about. I was able to rest some days, even though I knew it was gonna be costing me money. But I was like, you know what? Me physically being good is much more important for the long run of the business than if I decide to stay back and work and just continue to beat my body for temporary, get us out of the hole, right? So I just like, you know what, forget it. Just call it a loss, if it's a loss, right? And get me right, because I'm gonna need myself the most out of everybody. And when it comes to this year, I'm already seeing, you know, big differences when it comes to expenses. I mean, California is very expensive when it comes to the, you know, when it costs to like throw away tires. Tire prices gone up a little bit, and not only that, if you see it all over the news, the wages went up, and so now that just adds more cost to the business. So what I had to do is raise more of the prices, at least to be at the level where we're at last year, right? So all that affects, and the customers don't like it. You know, they get some feedback too. Hey man, why is it more expensive? You know, but they still pay. They still gotta pay, and they want really good service that we give. And at the same time, everybody in around SoCal, you gotta raise the prices, not just me. So, you know, if they go anywhere else, they're gonna see, you know what? It just wasn't us. It was pretty much everybody, because the cost of doing business now costs more. You know. But yeah, I mean, and I thought I was gonna try to keep it a tire shop, but damn, like it's just so much things that get mixed in with it. So I just gotta talk about non-tire shop now, right? So when it comes to the real estate business, it's again, it's been tough too. It's been really hard to do what the deal I'm trying to do right now. I'm in the process of buying another mobile home park, and it's really been hard just waiting for the mobile home park owner to get back to me. It's just a deal between me and him, and so that's a good thing. No one else is in the mix, no agents, no nothing, right? And so with along with that, you know, you gotta stay on your toes, continue to run your education, how you can, you know, get your education in, get your networking in, meeting new people. I've done that. I've done that part real good this year. The networking part, I've done really good this year. I gone to already a few meetups this year, and met some new people. And you know, the people that I mainly met are new people that are learning from me at the meetups, but I've also gotten closer to the people that I know, that I learned from. So it goes both ways. Like you know, because of them, they're teaching me new things or new ways of doing things, and you know, that forwards my business, and so, like, you know, things come across that you gotta be very, very careful of, right? And one of the things is, if you allow me to share this story, you know, a lot of people are not believers in what I'm saying, but I just have to share the story because maybe some of you might hear it and be like, you know, at least maybe one person takes action, and I get nothing out of it. I just want you guys to at least know, if you don't know, how important the subject is, what I'm trying to tell you, right? So at the real estate meetup, you know, I met an insurance agent. This insurance agent actually became my agent, and some of my family members also, you know, bought insurance from him. Well, how was this agent supposed to get, like, so fast, just like meet one person and get a whole bunch of, like, business from this person, right? The reason is, I'm a real big believer in life insurance, right? And you know, it might not be much coverage if you get something. It might be a lot, you know, depends on what kind of insurance policy you need, right? Or want. And the thing is, like, at least if I pass away, I have insurance coverage, you know, helps out with my family, with expenses, and you know, money to, like, continue to move business forward, right? Whether it's here, whether it's my real estate business. You know, I got more than 20 units, so it needs, like, today I had some roof work done. You know, it rained. If you can see the floor, it rained, so water went in the unit. I had to pay for this repair on the roof. The point is, there's always expenses, right? And you know, it costs money. So, but the thing is, you got to keep the business moving forward, because that money just grows and grows and grows with time, over you know, appreciation, equity, rent raises, whatever you're trying to do. So it's well worth, you know, paying the little money here and there during the holding time. Then when you cash out like hundreds of thousands, right? Potentially millions. But the point is, it needs money, require money to do their expenses, right? So what if, let's go on a smaller scale, right? You have husband, wife, and kids. Kids are in high school, so they don't work. Maybe they do, one or two, maybe. But for the majority, it's the husband that brings in the money. Wife doesn't work because taking care of the kids. But the husband don't make much, so pretty much like a poor family, right? And you know, looks pretty healthy. Like, yeah, like, let's say 55 years old, healthy person, looks like it, but a drinker, right? So, you know, a drinker, like Hispanics, love the beer, drink every day. You don't feel nothing when you're drinking the beer every day. but that takes a toll on your body. But that's not the main issue, right? It just makes you weaker, not the main problem, okay? So then, because you don't have a lot of money, right, to go around for the bills, expenses, that makes you always worry, which brings on stress, right? That's very, very, very common. If you're young, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. If you don't really have much stress, you need to get older and experience what it feels like to have stress in your life. When you have like, mainly it's money issues. Stress comes mainly from money issues and other things that can trigger it. But the main majority part of stress usually is from money issues, right? And then other thing can trigger it and it just like blows up, right? And so anyways, one day, this other event happens that has nothing to do with money, pretty much a family problem, right? And because this person already has stress, which doesn't even know they have stress, because sometimes you stress, you can't even feel it. Like me, I can't feel I have stress, but I'm pretty sure I do. So what I do is I just try to relax myself as much as possible, give massages, watch basketball, and then when it comes down to work, I work really hard. But anyways, a lot of people don't know how to manage stress. A lot of people don't have that like time that I do to take time off to like go massage my body, to like rest, like during the day, get some like sleep during the day sometimes, right? So what happens is like stress is there and just week after week after week of work, like you have no way of reducing that stress. As a matter of fact, it actually builds up. And so like one day something happens, family problems, you have a fight, the stress goes up, and boom, heart attack. Number one way of getting a heart attack, a stroke, is by stress. So this person goes and of course they take him to the hospital, can't move, right? And then this happened to be a strong one. Usually you can survive them, but a lot of times you can't. So what happens is, there is on the in there, and they say, you know what, we're gonna have to pull the plug. Even if he survives this, he's gonna be a vegetable. That bad. So then family, of course, devastated, and they have to pull the plug, passes away, right? Anyway, this Hispanic man doesn't have life insurance. Doesn't even have type of family that if you miss one day of work, it's a big issue, right? Like a type of family where like there's not a lot of food in the fridge, right? Like that's the kind of like people that are out there that don't believe in the life insurance, right? So passes away, now what? Like they barely have enough to like pay rent, barely have enough to like eat. Kids don't work, or maybe one does, but doesn't make a lot to kid, right? So then big problems now. Now the family's in real big issues. If this person, they just say, was more open-minded to like really see and feel more for the family, prepare more for the family, hey, maybe I should get life insurance just in case. It's really cheap. Like, let's just say like you can set something up for like $80 a month, right? Just an example. Man, that will make huge difference in like, $80 is like for them is like a few cases of beer, just an example, right? So even though that people are broke, they can afford $80 a month, right? That, money goes always somewhere else, you know what I mean? But instead of going somewhere else, you buy like a life insurance policy. And again, I don't sell life insurance, you know what I mean? I don't sell life insurance, but I know how it is. I know a lot about life insurance, let's put it like that, right? So then protect yourself, protect your family. If something happens, you gotta think about what good things that the life insurance policy does for you while you're living. But just in case you pass away, that thing pays out like, let's just call it a week later. Now they have enough money for the funeral to begin with. because you know how much it costs right now, like $30,000 here in California, minimum 20, but there's more cost to that. It's like 30,000. 20,000 is just for the services, for like everything when it comes to like, well, what about all this extra stuff? What about when you don't have money yourself? What about the transportation? What about all this other stuff? It's just 20 for the cemetery services and the burial and all that. But there's other things too that come with all that, right? And so it's a lot. It's more than 20,000. It racks up really fast, pretty much. We're gonna call it 30,000 because that's just real life what it is here. So pay off the services and then put money into the, wife's bank account if you would have that, just to like figure out how you're gonna like, deal with this, big loss. And by the way, money goes fast. If you're not working, money goes down really fast, right? And even when you're working, guys, like just think about it. Like you're working really hard, and how fast does money go down the drain? Like just because like you gotta live, man. Life is expensive, right? So then, yeah. So that's the kind of scenarios that are out there a lot, and it's just like, man, I see that as like, damn, like, don't be so cheap to not spend money on life insurance when that thing can really mess up your like family, like your family's legacy, man. Like, a lot of people work really hard for their family, but then if you pass away, then what? What's the mindset? Oh, I don't care, I'm dead. Is that how it works? And so, this is just coming from me. Unless you have a lot of money in the bank account, and it don't matter. Then forget your life insurance. You're good. Have 100 grand or more. Just an example. Just for like to get them from like, for 6 months. Out here in Cali anyways, 6-8 months, that money's going down already, right? Or it seems like that. Maybe a year, if you're lucky. But yeah, anyways, this is what I see out there, right? So I do see and then I talk to a lot of people when it comes to businesses. I'm also, I love business too at the same time, real estate, right? Real estate and business, you gotta be really good at both, in my opinion. Well, I like to be good at both, right? And see how many businesses are suffering right now in multiple industries. It's freaking crazy. I never thought I would see that. I would just like to share a few, but first let me tell you that in the life insurance business, man, I see that thing being super solid, even though prices of life insurance, when it comes to the cost of life insurance, hasn't been raised much at all. When it comes to inflation and all that, it's just been the same thing. Nothing really changed from that. First of all, as a customer, it's super cheap to get it. It's like an automatic for me, right? Second of all, if you're gonna be in the business of life insurance, that business is solid. Pandemic, it didn't affect it. It even got better because now people got on Zoom and they start selling life insurance through Zoom across the country, not just freaking locally, right? It made everybody normalized to going on Zoom now. Secondly, it still pays out the same. There's never gonna be a change in demand when it comes to life insurance. It's always gonna be needed. I mean, whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to need it, man. Like, if you don't got a lot of money saved up, you gotta get it. It's cheap. I'm sure a lot of friends, family members that know friends and family members that sell life insurance. Hey, hook up with them, buy some, thank yourself later, or at least that's gonna be able to let you sleep in peace every night if something happens to you. Hey, well, I'm dead, but my family's taken care of, And so anyways, I just see that and I'm like, damn, like, okay, well, what are they gonna do now? And by the way, I'll just share right now, this family is very close to me, so if they ask me for help, I'll help them out. But I'm just curious, like, how are they gonna, because of one person's decision. And again, this is very common, right? But because one person's decision of not doing it, let's just say, when they had the opportunity to, didn't, and now it's big problems, big problems. It changed their whole family's life forever, and it's not for the good. It's not for the better, right? They're probably gonna have to move out of the house that they're living in, which is one of the least expensive rents I've ever heard in Almonte. right? And go probably live with family, you know, with the aunts, or separate everybody. Like, hey, you live over here, you live over there. Like, I don't know. I mean, you gotta think of ways, like, to go past that. But let me continue what I was trying to tell you earlier too. Solid business when it comes to life insurance. It's always been solid. But other businesses that I've seen that go down recently, I'm like, wow. I mean, I know some people that were super solid, more solid than me in my businesses. And now they're like struggling, like man. So let me tell you about the first one, right? In the out here in California, we got the weed industry. Weed industry is very strong, very profitable. Every year was way worse. What happened was the Asians, right? They came in, they freaking brought all their millions of dollars, built factories, and made like a whole bunch of weed, right? They brought down the weed prices so low now that's like everybody's kind of like buying from them. So they're okay, you get affected big time. That really sucks. It threw out, like, I knew a lot of people in the weed business, just like a lot of customers I meet and stuff like that, right? Took all of them out of business, and I'm like, the only one really, I mean, he has his brother in it and cousin or whatever, but there was only one standing. So pretty much this guy was actually one of the biggest ones here. What he did was he traded his operation money and he bought a legit property to grow weed. So a lot of people were doing this on the table, but he actually went legit, right? So he's like, oh, okay, I'm good. Well, I'm legit. These guys are out of business. They not, but it cost me everything I had, but I'm at least legit now, right? So then up north, right? It's up north. There's a lot of places that are legit, like in the Indian reservations out there up north, way up there in Northern California. And so what happened was Oklahoma became legal, and now businesses from Cali are setting up shop out there in Oklahoma. Now they're buying like these, cheap properties. Properties out there are pretty cheap coming out here, and setting up shop, and then they're selling weed from there to Texas. See, the main thing is this. Texas is like the biggest buyer of weed, right? They got like these laws that you cannot have weed and all that, but you can do it like, I guess hidden and all that. Like you can't be a grower, but you can sell it somehow, you know what I mean? And so what they do is they come and buy it in Cali, and then they'll like sell it in Texas. But what happened now is, because now Oklahoma opened up, they can just save so much travel time, just go up a little bit, get it from Oklahoma and come back down, forget Cali, right? Well, that messed up the whole business for this guy. Now he's super struggling, cash flow's low, and now I saw him like doing some other thing, and I'm like, hey, what happened? What's up? He's like, oh no, well, this is what happened, man. I was like, oh shit. So he's like, I'm gonna do some other things. And I was like, yeah, for sure, And then, it destroyed this guy's business too. So he's pretty much thinking about getting out of the business, and which was a real legit business, by the way, and doing something else. And this guy was really strong with his income, right? Here we go. Another guy was, is an Amazon business. Now that business I thought was untouchable. I'm talking about you're selling product online that you don't have a physical location, and all those sales throughout the United States. You have like so many customers, millions of people on Amazon buying things every single day. They're just selling product after product after product. Then I was like, dude, that business is like untouchable. Like, even though prices might go down a little bit, you're still gonna be good if you sign a whole bunch of like product every single month, right? So I don't know exactly what happened with that business. My guess, I don't know the business, but my guess they're starting to let China more in the business, right? They can let the Chinese sell their product from overseas or from Mexico, or I don't know from where, right? That it brought down the prices of the product which made my buddy's inventory, my buddy's product prices drop a lot, that he's barely making a little bit of profit. Sorry, making like thin margins now, like thin. So like, you know, to be able to like make a private label, it costs a lot of money. To be able to bring in a lot of product from China, it costs a lot of money, right? To be able to store a lot of product in the warehouse, it costs a lot of money, right? All that money is needed up front. So what you do is you borrow it, right? So you borrow it at a certain percentage. With that money, you buy it, and then, you know, all this holding, and then you sell it, you make a profit in the hopes of paying the investors back with an interest rate, right? Okay, that's cool. But what happens when the margins are so thin on the product you're selling that you kind of don't have enough money to like pay the employees, you know, of course, pay your taxes and pay your investor back their interest rate because the margins are so thin. That guy was raking millions of dollars a year in sales. Still currently is, but with the project margins getting smaller and smaller and real thin right now, that guy is in big trouble right now. He is figuring out a way how to like get out of this issue. But I'm sure he's not the only guy like this. This guy was really smart, really like strong in the business, many years in the business, and now is in big trouble, big trouble, like losing money every single month, I heard. And I'm like, dude, like how do you go from a really solid business like that to being able to like have not enough cash to pay investors? Like that is, and by the way, I know this guy. He doesn't spend money on cars. He doesn't go out. He's always in his house, just working. He never comes out of his house, man. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think of his house. I think he's just renting. Him and his wife, right? They go and they just stay at a house and just like working. And I'm like, dude, like I would think like those guys make much more money than like a small shop. Just an example. Let's say like the small tire shops, and this is just an example of like, you know, the Ali Mama channel, right? Tire shop business with like, you know, no worries, kind of in a way, no worries when it comes to like money worries. That it's just like we're gonna have problems when it comes to like that kind of business.